Up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 250 miles above your imagination on the International Fake Station. I'm up here with my good friend and co-pilot, Something Wong, and he's here to make sure that the noodles are cooked and the bong is packed and keep us in this IT nightmare. I've been meaning to get him to clean this up. He's left a hell of a mess. Do you see these panels over here in the just shit hanging every place? I think he's drying his underwear back here too. And we're just gonna have to have a sit down. Okay, that's just all there is to it. But anyway, let's see. We've got a lot of good people in here tonight. Let's see who all we got. I got Awakened Nemesis is here. Hi, he says hi, Sav. Hello back from way up here. Scraping along that firmament, baby. Boy, don't they get triggered and mad when you talk about that firmament. It's almost like, no, how dare you remind us we're trapped in here. I'm like, trapped? Have you seen this fucking place, man? It's you could live your whole life and never see everything, even if you tried to, But we know why that is, and we know what the nature of the demon actually is. They want to extend it. There's always some kind of a idea where they want to stay out you'd be able to get out or something. And I don't think that's going to happen. I got Augustus Palooza is here with us. Half Warrior. Good to see you, my man. Let's see who else we got. Spitfire DJ and New World Order. Lazarus has joined us tonight. Sandro. Paul Hogston. New names of people. I have set this to subscriber chat just to discourage some trolls, but we'll still get them. I don't worry about them. All you moderators out there, you know, only if they say something horribly disgusting or some shit like that. Just other than that, you guys in the chat usually take care of these guys. I don't even have to worry. My shirt says, what does my shirt say at the bottom? It said next chapter. It says gun control. Fuck gun control. So that's and it's spelled out, of course, with rifles, you know, AR-15s and, you know, the forbidden, scary black rifles. That's the ones that they get all upset about. I got Diane Red Heifer. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Good to see you here. Doesn't mean you haven't been watching. I have next chapters with us here. Jehovah's lovely daughter, Barbara, our fine moderator, who has been a loyal watcher of the show and moderator here for 2 years now. 2 years. The channel is 2 years old. I can't believe it. So I guess we're in our terrible twos, as some unhinged people have decided to start parroting, but that's okay. I've been given a lot of ridicule for, oh, how can you say that those guys didn't do what they did and everything. I said, I'm only going by what I'm looking at. And look, you know, I'm not married to nobody. Fuck all that. You know, I'm going to look at shit critically. And if I see holes, I'm going to point out the holes. Just like if somebody's shit in the middle of the living room, I'm not going to just pretend nobody's shit in the middle of the living room. I'm going to look and say, hey, somebody's shit in the middle of the living room. Let's find out who it was. Who else we got here? Only up dudes. Let's see. Awakened Nemesis. I got you once already. Let's see. Keith Maskell. What else we got? And of course, the link is pinned up there. If you've got questions or something you want to talk about, I got Roger Ledwell up here too to help answer any questions you might have. We might have the answers, and sometimes the answer is I don't frickin' know, and that's okay because that leads to let's find out. So, what's on your mind tonight, Raj?
Oh, I was just here to get that apology that you owed Brenda for passports, man.
For what?
Passports. She came on Vlad's channel the other day and demanded an apology for passports because they figured out that they didn't need another stamp for some reason.
Okay, yeah, that's convenient. That's cool. I still want to know what's going on the 18th.
Oh, me too.
You know, okay, so you don't have a passport stamp. Wonderful. So how about you show some receipt? You have to have some kind of evidence, a luggage claim or some kind of shit that shows you arrived in Puentes Arenas on the 17th and not on the 18th. You have to have something.
Yeah, they do.
You know? Come on.
Take a picture while you're there. It's obviously going to timestamp it on your phone when you take it. So,
well, there's already so much that it's like, okay, well, fuck it. None of it's real anyways. Why are we even fucking with it? And the whole thing in this too is I have to agree, and I'm going to go over this again because this was fantastic. And I looked at this. I put this in my community post, and this is actually from Light Before the Tunnel. I don't know if you're familiar with the channel or not.
I've heard of them. I haven't watched anything.
Okay. Yeah, I just became aware of them. Something popped up in my feed, and I was like, hey, this is really cool. The thing, this is what gets you right here. And let me pull this up. And he brings up great points. All right. It says the real false dichotomy of this TFE PSYOP is real or fake. Focusing so much attention on whether it was staged serves to distract truth seekers from the deeper, more crucial issues at hand here, which I cover further below. The satanic secret societies excel at crafting false dichotomies because they keep the debate contained within their controlled framework. By focusing the flat earth community's attention on real versus fake, They are diverting attention away from the fundamental question: are the heavens evil, even in the domain of science in the first place? We need to reframe the discussion. The proper focus should be on dismantling the false premise that underpin much of the debate surrounding the lights in the sky. People, both globers and flat earthers, are failing to understand the limitations of the scientific method when it comes to metaphysical matters. The heavens, being part of a spiritual and non-material realm, cannot be scientifically modeled in a predictive way. This isn't about lacking data. It's about the limitations of science as a tool for investigating things beyond the material world, which I've said in the first place. I'm like, well, we don't even know what that shit up there is. You know, they've bamboozled people into this idea that star naming or astronomy is somehow science. Okay, that's just, what science do they do? They don't do any science.
The only thing scientific I could think that they could do with any of the stars or the heavenly bodies is actually, if they could actually reach them and sample them, test them, and see what they're made out of. I have never seen that happen. Have you?
No, and we've gotten some bullshit like that they sent some guys up on the moon, and that we already know that that's not true, and that leads down a whole nother rabbit hole. But in any case, I started a little early tonight. I'm not going to go real late or anything, but I wanted to give us a proper amount of time. I got to work again tomorrow, and my brain's got to work really fairly well. Anyways, we're doing some trim work in this place, and I like doing trim. It's one of my favorite things to do in carpentry is trim work.
Well, you gotta keep your eye on the trim, you know, when you're flying.
Oh yeah. But I mean, yeah, you could say that in kind of a dirty way, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I love working trim. Yeah, I mean, but, I mean, you know what I'm talking about base molding and
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
door jams and shit like that. Yeah. So he says we need to reframe the discussion. The proper focus should be on dismantling the false premise that underpin much of the debate surrounding the lights in the sky. People, both globers and flat earthers, are failing to understand the limitations of the scientific method when it comes to metaphysical matters. The heavens, being part of the spiritual non-material realm, cannot be scientifically modeled in a predictive way. This isn't about lacking data. Okay, we read that part. The importance of metaphysics and epistemology. Rather than getting caught in the weeds of was TFE staged or not, I emphasize the need for flat earthers and everyone else to revisit the foundational questions of how we know what we know and what the nature of reality is. And that's the difference between epistemology and metaphysics. In these foundations are faulty or built on the assumptions of materialism and scientism. The conclusions will inevitably be misleading. Tactics of the PSYOP. The PSYOP of TFE exploits a key vulnerability, the widespread false assumption that everything observable is in the domain of science. In other words, the assumption that if we can see it, we can model it. This is usually true, but there are exceptions. The lights in the sky are one of those exceptions because they're not verifiably material objects in the natural realm, which science is limited to. The false dichotomy of real versus fake in TFE is merely a tool to perpetuate division, confusion, distraction, and adherence to materialist and scientism assumptions. The true deception lies in keeping the flat earth community bickering over competing models for the heavens, something we don't even have the ability to model in the first place. And by baiting flat earthers into further debating the models like this, the implicit assumption is that we even can use the scientific method to model the heavens, indoctrinating flat earthers even deeper into materialism and scientism, the exact worldview truthers claim to oppose. This is why various controlled opposition agents, propped up by personalities in the flat earth movement, have debated the heavens as if they're in the domain of science for many years leading up to the final experiment. Can you think of a single propped up flat earther who does not debate the heavens this way, as if they're in the domain of science? By framing the debates in this way, they've subtly conditioned flat earthers to unconsciously presuppose scientism and materialism by viewing the heavens as within the domain of science when they're not, For years and years, when I called them out for this, almost no flat earther recognized or understood what I was talking about. This is concerning, and it explains why the final experiment is so effective so far as a psyop. All in all, by trying to predictively model the heavens, flat earthers are making the same mistake heliocentrics made by operating through the same false non-biblical frameworks they claim to oppose, scientism and materialism. I urge the flat earth community to stop trying to fit the heavens into a scientific framework that they were never meant to occupy. Instead, the focus should shift to understanding the spiritual nature of the heavens as described in the Bible, and recognizing that our attempts to model them are descriptive at best, not predictive. This realization undermines the psyop entirely by refusing to engage in its false terms.
That makes sense. I remember back in the day, Saab, when the cosmonauts first got into space, they used to like have a cosmonaut with a sign saying, "Where's God? I don't see him."
Mm-hmm.
That was their motto. The space race was built on an anti-theist look at life.
Yes. Well, and look at they were a propaganda tool of the USSR, the Communist Party in Russia. And of course, that's going to bolster that. That's one of their main goals, is that they want to destroy God. That's an important thing if you're going to subjugate people.
True.
If you're going to subjugate people, you have to take away the notion of God. Because like myself and many other believe, it's like with authority, it's like I'm not questioning your authority. I'm denying its existence. You're just another guy. Shut up. Without your monopoly on force, you have nothing over me. I won't let you tell me what to do. You have to threaten me before I do something. And that's exactly what they do.
Yeah. It's like a big gang mentality.
Yeah.
Biggest stick wins, dude. You know.
But they can't have you viewing their quote unquote authority that way. It has to be absolute. You know, you can't even fall back even on basis of morality when it comes to some things, when it's like that.
Oh, they're definitely taking away what's left of any kind of credence of any kind of citizenship or sovereignty, for that matter. By the time they're done, it's going to be gone.
So I was going to show you all this too. This is pretty interesting regarding, as long as we're talking about Antarctica and the like right now. This is pretty good. You might want to pay attention to this.
If there were a firmament that was getting lower to the ground as you went south beyond the Antarctic shoreline, planes would have to fly lower. That is something that would just make sense on the biblical Earth model. And when you look into what actually happens in Antarctica, you find out that, wait a minute, planes do actually fly lower. How much lower? Well, a lot lower. When you look at their elevation, it's around 11,000 feet in the Antarctic region. When you go to the Arctic, it should be exactly the same, because they say we live on a globe and the south and the north are exactly the same. However, they're flying at 29,000 feet, far higher, because they don't have to worry about a barrier. And it's not some barrier we're making up. There is footage of this barrier. We've shared it before. There are declassified documents that speak of it. The Encyclopedia Britannica talks about a dome-like structure being around 13,000 feet beyond the 80th south parallel. I used to think there could be another explanation for that. However, there might be some truth to those numbers, given that they're flying that low in Antarctica. What do you guys think? Let us know. I think this is fascinating.
That's an excellent point, isn't it? Like there could be a structure up there, you know?
Oh, I've heard him claim all kinds of crazy shit. What now? Hold on. What's this? Saab react live to modern day debate. FTFE just started crying.
He did?
What?
Nice.
What?
Just started crying. No, wait. No, never happened.
No. Are we for real? Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can find this.
I knew they were debating tonight. I didn't know he started crying. No, that was a good one.
Here it is. Oh God! Why did somebody send him some fucking money or something?
He's breaking down like the good clown he is. Hi, I'm Rambo.
Hopefully. There we go.
I can't forget the robot polisher. That was a good clip he did.
Oh, wait a second. Why do I not have?
There's a donation bar up there. Wait a minute.
Oh, I know why. Hang on, because I had my screen all big before. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna step outside. I got to get back to Walmart. They're calling me. So.
Uh-oh.
I know.
To the
Gotta-
vibe
We're turning it into a
of,
FEMA camp, bro.
how this topic is
In the
gonna
FEMA, yep, you
engage.
might as well be.
If you can present something that is not, I think Will Duffy has lied, and some, like I say, a suspicion, not like I think the whole thing is suspicious, like I say, something specific that you didn't like, so that we can try to
It was
move
a
into
lot
something.
of stuff. There was like one thing I
Right, give us
saw,
a specific
like,
so we
how
can
the-
move into something.
Okay,
so
so
Craig
the shadow,
can.
right? Okay, watch.
We
This
can
was
move
one
on.
I saw. There was one I saw, right? I was like, why isn't that big mountain in the background casting any shadow? And I'm like, wow. And I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, okay, if there's this big mountain in front of the sun.
Oh
that
man, this shit has
I-
all been done to death, man. It's like it's been done to death. I'm at this point right here with it, guys. Okay, I'm right here with this at this point. I'm like, I don't even fucking care at this point. All right. It wasn't genuine. There was deception involved. And there again, like I've said before, what the fuck is any of that shit anyways? All right. You're going to prove a globe? Show me the curve, baby. Show me the curve. Be like Jerry Maguire, you know, show me the money, show me the fucking curve. That's what you got to get with, man. This other bullshit like that, like my man said in that post, it's like you can't. You know how what the fuck? You know the thing about like even with the sun, you think about this. Copernicus come out at 3 million miles. That's what he calculated, and then over time it kept growing. Even Newton calculated it twice, and the second time almost doubled his first calculation. And he said, whether it be one or the other, it doesn't matter. It suits our purpose. Well, what does the fuck does that mean? It suits our purpose. I'll tell you what it means. The whole thing was to make people believe this ludicrous fucking idea based on optical tricks. Oh, look, you can tell because, you know, people are not understanding shit about their vision or whatever else. You can see the ship goes over the curve, but then they always have to change their story. You can't see any curve from that. You know, it's like, I mean, at some point in time, the contradicting excuses have to give way to, you know, something in your brain where you go, all right, wait a fucking minute. You have to understand, if something is unknown, and I come out, especially with a certain kind of PR, like, oh, I'm a scientist and I have this degree in this, that, and the other, whatever. But I come out, so there's your PR aspect of it, right? And I'm touted as this really brainy dude. And I come out and I sell you this idea. And you're going to accept it because you don't know, but I know. So that makes me more powerful than you because I know something that you do not. I figured out something that you couldn't figure out yourself. Okay, that's how it's done. So this is why people will automatically go, hey, oh yeah, well, you know, the scientists figured that out. They did all the heavy lifting for me. And so you just regurgitate the shit that they say. You know, oh, the sun's 93 million miles away. Well, how the fuck do you know that? What is it? And then they give you these dumbass stories about it being a big ball of hydrogen and fucking helium that somehow fell in on itself because it had gravity. It's just one day gases just decided to say, hey, you know what? Let's take a break from our normal behavior. Let's join hands and be friends. And we'll just grab together and become a fucking star. It's like, what a bunch of horse shit. I saw something come through the other day and said, oh, water is older than the earth. And I'm like, how in the fuck do you know how old water is, man? What'd you do? Cut a drop in half and count the rings? What you carbon date it? They just say some shit, and because it comes from some source that you trust, and they feel like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. They go at the water cooler, they're talking to their buddy and say, hey, Fred, you know what I heard the other day? Water's actually older than the earth. It's older than the sun even. Yeah. Yeah. How do you know that? Oh, I saw this video. Famous guy said so or whatever. Oh, neat. Then he goes on and tells other people about it too. And this is how this bullshit gets started, you know? And that's how they're selling dehydrated water as a joke. No, I'll sell dehydrated water. It's really great. You get these packets, you empty the packet into a glass and just add water. It's real simple. $9.95. Tax free. I won't even charge you tax on it. You know, I'll foot the bill on that one. That's the way we want to go with that. Now, I can't look at Craig's face for very long. He's just an irritating thing to it. He reminds me of a typical kid on one of those short buses. You know how they do? He rocks around like, I don't know, man. I just can't deal with him. In his little factual way, he says stupid things. Well, actually, you know, you have a picture of gravity right behind you. You know, like, I have a picture of gravity? You can see gravity? This is what you're fucking telling me. You can see gravity. All right, brother. Wow. So, you know, you gotta kind of wonder where the hell these people's minds are coming from. Look at there. I lost track of what I was doing and everything. And now I'm going to come back to what I was doing and everything. If that's all right with y'all. All right. That's what we want right there. All right. So that was the thing with the firmament. Okay. Let me see here. I found some interesting shit. We'll come back to that when it's MKUltra. I can't show you that. YouTube will kill us. Oh yeah, this was kind of freaky looking. Now, I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think about this. All right, this dude gets scared by a shapeshifter.
Check it out. Shapeshifter, right? That's what we're thinking. Okay, let's watch it again. This has been sent to me like 20 times for me to, you know, analyze it to see what I think. Keep watching. Pay attention.
You guys see it? I don't know if I see it. I mean, kind of. Oh, what the?
Right there. That's the one that kind of gets me right there. You can see me snapping the screenshots while I'm watching this, trying to catch each frame. And that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at each frame on when it happens, and we're going to see what's going on. So first off, this is what we have. And, you know, I have to rule out every possibility. Is this a movie? I don't know, and I haven't seen it if it is, although I'm sure the comments will say it with no information or no links to back it up. If you do have that information, please back it up. Don't say it, because if you say it and you can't back it up, it looks pathetic. So let's get started. We see this first frame right here. You can see me snapping these frames, and I'm just going to show you through each one because we're going to look at it. This is a real thing. For me, it is. This is real. I'm not saying this video. I'm saying that this phenomenon is very real, I think, considering personal things I've seen. Now, this video is more than likely AI. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. But it might not be. So let's check it out. See this? Okay, now we see this. I've tried to lighten it up and clear it up. And look, usually when I do that, now I will say this, if it's artificial intelligence, it'll kind of gleam out. It'll fade out. I could not get the skull, the image to fade out whatsoever. I mean, it stayed solid. So that could have some authenticity to it. So let's check this next frame. Okay, then you can see this here. And actually, I got those two frames crossed up. And the other one goes after this one. So let's watch this one. I'm not going to even go back, try to correct the video. We'll just go back. All right, so this is actually the second frame. Okay, so check that out. All right, let's go back. This is third frame.
Whoa.
And right before she turns all the way around, this is what happens. This guy looks terrified. I don't have him on this image, but this is what ends up happening. That's the same person right there. Now, is this an AI-generated? Is it AI-generated content where this guy just looks like that the whole time and they've added everything else to me? Who knows? I'll let you leave the comments. You tell me what's going on. Is this a shapeshifter?
I don't know, man. I tend to lean toward AI, but there are so many stories about people being able to like shapeshift. And like especially amongst the royals, and not just the monarchs themselves, but like within their families and members of their families. And the fact that they all have these reptilian symbolism even in their coats of arms, and I don't know, that's really another. But I put a poll up. I'm just curious how many of y'all think that shapeshifters actually do exist. And I left it binary. It's you're either with the shapeshifters or against them. And if you're I was going to put Anunnaki Jew lizards from Nibiru, but that took too long to type. Let's see what y'all are saying so far. Let me take a look right real quick. 61, 64%. Looking like the majority of people think that the shapeshifters do exist. And I've thought about that, especially with the connection to, and the allegations of reptilians and the like. And I've thought about this. There are certain snakes and lizards that literally hypnotize their prey in order to be able to attack them. And I thought, in a higher developed mind, a more powerful, intelligent being, even a human, I guess, could do it, would be able to hypnotize its prey, even maybe en masse, because it's not really necessary for me to change my appearance. It's only necessary for me to change your perception of my appearance. So I don't know, is something like that at play? Very possible. Interesting subject. Anyway, we got more craziness on the I almost said Lahaina. I almost fucking said Lahaina. I'm sorry. Los Angeles, another L. We're seeing the same similarities. Same thing from Paradise. Same thing from Lahaina. Same thing now in LA. This is a pretty good clip showing some of the shit and the anomalies that we've been actually looking at. Let's bring this up.
So here we are on Fair Oaks and Las Flores Drive. This is the corner house on the left side of my house. This is across the street, the corner house, and the two houses in front, and the entire street on my side, on my right side, is decimated. From what I could see, every house is burnt down on my block, except for my house.
Huh? What the fuck?
Why do I deserve it? Why do I deserve this? I don't know. I don't think I deserve it, but God bless everybody else.
Arrived.
With plenty of insurance to rebuild. God knew what he had to do to protect me, because I'm an idiot. I might not have had insurance. I don't know. I got to check if I paid it. Meanwhile, everybody else's house around me is, oh my God. Everybody behind me.
Look at that shit.
How is this? How could this even be true? Everybody behind me is burned down.
Look at his house ain't even touched.
My lumber, even all of my lumber burned. Even the lumber that we were building the extension of the house, but my house is intact. But even my lumber burned down. How does that happen if not God? The neighbors are gone. The garage is even still standing. I don't understand how this happens. This is God. And not because I feel I deserve it either. I just don't know. But God protected me. My neighbor's house is gone 100%. Even the old garage door burned a little bit at the, look at, but the garage didn't burn.
That's fucking stupid. That's metal.
Oh, I do have a little bit of fire damage in here. Yes. So
No,
looks like the garage burned on from the flames on this side of the house, and they're still kind of burning. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put some water on that right now. Make sure we put that out so it doesn't reignite. Besides that, the entire house is still here. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. This is the whole block. Everybody's house is gone. I gotta put that fire out on my garage roof.
That's the kind of thing, like, okay, so, and he's not the only person that's happened to like that.
So here we are.
It's it just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Oh, let me see. I had something else here that I wanted to. Oh yeah, that we'll watch that here in a minute too. Okay, so as you all know, 2026 is going to be the 250th year, supposedly, of the United States. And they're planning a world fair. I know y'all went reset. Didn't you? Didn't you? Okay. Now, this is really weird. I'm going to show you this video here in a minute. It's a little lengthy, but this is like a really cool little rabbit hole. All right. And what I want to tell you is that there's this site or this company or whatever called Ingersoll Lockwood. Now, when he said that, I went, what in the fuck? Ingersoll Lockwood? Isn't that the name of the guy that wrote the Baron Trump books? You know, the ones where everybody was going on about the similarities between the stories, and one of them called The Last President. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to just do a check real quick. I keep forgetting to do it. What happens is I want to search for something, and then I get sidetracked by some fucking notification, and then it's like out the window. Let me see. B-R-O. Okay, yeah. Baron Trump book written 1896. And Ingersoll Lockwood. Yes, Baron Trump novels are two children's novels written in 1889 and 1893 by American author and lawyer Ingersoll Lockwood. Okay, so that I was correct on that. All right, so this is pretty freaking crazy. And I'll probably stop, but I know y'all thought that too. World's Fair. We do hear some of the shit that they're going to have at that too. This guy goes into it. It's pretty good. Let's see, all I got to do is that. There I am. And where are we at?
Okay, let's go down a rabbit hole. Go to Ingersoll Lockwood.
I know the volume sucks. That's why I have the closed captioning on. I think of everything. All right. I do this for you.
And click on this. It's checking to see if you're human. without asking you any questions. So I don't know how it does that. All right. So what do we have here? We have America 250, Pioneering Frontiers, the World's Fair. Now, what has Trump been talking about for the last year? We're going to have this year-long celebration. Go down the list. They have option A, option B, talking about locations primarily. Option A is in Florida, Cape Canaveral. And then option B has a couple other options with in Iowa. But look at the topics. I mean, we got U.S. Space Force Pavilion. They're talking about securing the final frontier, career exploration, space surveillance. That's interesting.
Space surveillance.
And then we've got quantum computing and advanced technology hub. We're going to talking about artificial intelligence and automation, advanced robotics. Somehow I see Elon being tied in with this. Quantum leap exhibit. I'm sure they're going to be talking about quantum computers. Then we have digital frontier. Cyberspace, blockchain, and cryptocurrency zone. Look at that. We're going to get into talking about digital assets. Future of communications. Look at that top one. Safe 6G and beyond. Showcasing the potential of next generation technology like 6G for transforming cities, autonomous transport, and global connectivity.
But what more do we need? We can already download like 5 million movies in a second because of 5G. Remember all that dumb shit they told us? God damn it.
Satellite internet and global access. And it says, like Starlink, are bridging the digital divide in remote areas. And of course, you know all about Starlink and its beta testing with T-Mobile now. If you have T-Mobile, you can sign up for beta testing and you can connect your cell phone right to Starlink. You don't need any cell towers. I think that's going to be the wave of the future. Let's just get rid of these ugly ass towers everywhere, huh? Because not only is the technology in them dangerous with 5G, they're just disgusting to look at. Unlocking the secrets of Tesla Pavilion. That one's going to be awesome. Groundbreaking inventions, showcasing replicas and models of Nikola Tesla's most influential work, including the Tesla coil, wireless energy. That goes right back to his Wycliffe Tower that got burned to the ground after he told his investors that that's what he wanted. He discovered wireless energy transfer. They pulled the plug on his money, and then they tore it down. We're going to get all that back. He even talks about the Warden, I guess it's the Warden Cliff. Did I say that right before? Don't know. Interactive displays on Tesla's vision for worldwide wireless electricity. Gee, we could get rid of all these wires and cables and crap and this control. Global culinary village. International cuisine and culture.
Man, they gonna have a bunch of motherfuckers from down the rainforest and shit showing you recipes and making you eat bugs and shit and worms. I guarantee it. Oh, grubbing banana leaf is good, man.
Showing traditional dishes and highlight sustainable practices, providing rich tapestry of global food culture. And then we have farm to table cooking classes, culinary workshops. Somehow I think RFK Jr. is going to be involved in some of this. We're going to talk about health. Oh, guess what? Yeah, here he is, number 8. Future of Food Pavilion, making America healthy again. Would you look at that? It's like, if he's been talking about this for a year and a half already, they ain't going to just whip this together in April and make it all happen. Look at the other World's Fairs. Those weren't whipped together either. Those were old buildings. Rethinking nutrition, healthy ingredient tastings, educational workshops, all talking about non-GMO. Imagine that. Food innovation labs, edible packaging and waste reduction. Well, that one's a little interesting. I don't know about the edible packaging. Smart agriculture is talking about how AI is going to be implemented into agriculture. And why the hell not? Let's face it, people don't want to do some of these jobs. They're redundant, boring, they break your back. You have a short lifespan when you have to do that much hard work forever, and you have no choice. I think we ought to have a choice. Electric and hybrid cars, solar powered boats and ferries. Ooh, high speed maglev trains. We already have those. You just can't see them. They're in the tunnels. Elon Musk's Hyperloop. This little one right here. That's interesting. An immersive experience in Hyperloop's vacuum-powered pods, giving visitors a glimpse into the future of ultra-fast, sustainable transport. Personalized air travel. Well, those would be the vertical lift takeoff vehicles that are being developed right now. And there's several companies in the US alone that are manufacturing them. Like, they're all getting them already so that, boom, as soon as the laws are passed, then we have them. And this stuff's been around for 100 years. It's not like it's brand new. It's just stuff that they didn't want you to have. So, yeah, World Leaders Forum, profiting through peace. Just a bunch of information on this page. So go to Ingersoll Lockwood. That's their logo. They're at 1717 Pennsylvania Avenue in DC. They're legit, but it was also the name of an author who wrote a few interesting books. So we'll go down that rabbit hole sometime. So check it out. The World's Fair.
Holy shit.
I can't wait.
Dude. So I was just looking up that Hyperloop thing. And it's like this, you know, like when you go to the bank and you put that shit in that little capsule and stick it in that thing, it goes whoop. That's kind of how this fucking thing's supposed to work, man. From what I can see. I don't know if I want to be getting in some shit like that, man. I don't know. Of course, it seems to me that they had a concept for that kind of transportation like back in the, I'm wanting to say back in the 20s or 30s, 1920s or 30s, like 100 years ago. It seems like I remember seeing something about that at some time, where they had this idea of moving people around using these vacuum tubes. I don't know. I don't think I want to be in that kind of a thing. I want to be in control most of the time of whatever I'm riding in. I really do. I don't like to be a passenger a lot. So I don't know. It's just, is this what I was looking at? What was this? No. Oh, yeah. So this is kind of interesting on another front. With the way there's a lot of shakeup and shit coming out now. I don't know if you all follow anything on X. I don't post a lot anything because it's a jungle. But I do like to keep in touch with what's going on and shit. So there's a few things that I subscribe to and I get a feed on it. And if I think it's cool, I repost it. And if I don't, I just let it go by. But there was a guy, Jamie Manina, who's a Pentagon official who was just exposed for attempting to undermine Donald Trump's presidency, was caught in 2021 trying to have relations with an underage girl. Interestingly, Manina also worked under Hillary Clinton's State Department which faced accusations of covering up an elite PDF file rings. The Pentagon finally fired him. Almost every single person who tries to undermine Trump is a PDF file. That's the claim on this post by Shadow of Ezra. Let me share that with you over on the big screen here. And that's what I just read to you. There's an accompanying video. Might be kind of interesting. Let's see what that's about. And as I said, the link is pinned. Anybody that wants to come up, got questions, just want to say, hey, whatever. Tonight's the night. Just go ahead and click that link. Come on up. And of course, like I said, I put it to only, subscribers only for a substantial amount of time, because usually a lot of times these people, they just want to come in and try to be shitheads. They're not subscribers. We don't need them. If you're that interested and really have something important to say, then just subscribe, and say what you got to say and unsubscribe if you want to. But I think that's a good tool. I'm glad that that's there. Anyway, I have not seen this yet. I just read about it myself, and it's obviously something by something O'Keefe. I don't know. Let me see what it says. Okay, just to give you all premise, I see some people are a little confused. Okay, well, what's going on here is this is where they busted this guy. So what he did was he was attempting to meet an underage girl for, anyway, when he came to the door, the camera crew, and I'm assuming it's James O'Keefe as well, went and hid in the closet. And then we heard her answer the door and some flirtations taking place and whatnot. So that's where we're at right now. I think at any time now, they come out of this. It seems like I remember this. Uh-oh. Hold on. Are you guys not getting any sound? I'm sorry. Shit. Okay, hang on. Hang on. What the fuck here? Let me just stop the screen again. See, I don't know. Sometimes this does this and it pisses me off. All right, let's see where we're at. Can you all hear this now? Is it, you guys hear that? Okay, so you don't hear anything at all. Okay, this is fucking stupid. What is going on here? Let me remove it. See, I wasn't having a problem before. So what is going on now? It says also share audio. That's the thing I'm picking. This site will be able to see the contents of your screen. Okay. Sound? Okay, were you guys hearing any sound with that one? Son of a bitch. I don't get what's going on here. This is retarded. Huh. Damn it. Why would this not be showing any sound? I'll stop sharing. I'm going to close out the whole thing. And I'm going to bring up brand new. All right, I'm going to try this again, just with a different one. And let me know if y'all can hear it.
New MKUltra documents got released, and you know I went through them. These documents were released in December, and I just chose one set to go through. Remember that Project MKUltra was a CIA mind control operation. It studied the use of different substances and practices like hypnosis and electric shock for mind control. I'm starting with this set of documents, which was a memorandum to the director of the CIA, which at that time was John McCone. And this is a report of inspection for Project MKUltra. John McCone was the director of the CIA during the Kennedy administration, and I bet he has a lot.
This is one I had queued up, but I knew the girl talked good and loud, so we'll just watch this one first. We're just getting topics of discussion.
A lot of insight into that entire situation. The beginning of the document just talks about the concerns they had with the project and kind of the unethical ways that the project was heading. At this point, they were 10 years into Project MKUltra, and it was kind of getting out of control. And then there's this little part, the final phase of testing of MKUltra materials involves their application to unwitting subjects in normal life settings. This part talks about where they found some of their unwitting test participants: university, pharmaceutical houses, hospitals, state and federal institutions like prisons, and private research organizations. And when I looked into MKUltra when it came to prisons, I came across a really interesting story about James Whitey Bulger. We know from letters that he wrote from prison that Whitey Bulger had been an unwilling participant in the LSD studies done by the CIA. The agency dosed Bulger more than 50 times during his first stretch in prison during the late 50s. Although he was guilty of a long list of crimes, he had not committed any unalivings until after his LSD study. Which leads me to a new project that I'm working on. I'm going to try to create a system where I can categorize and connect famous or infamous criminals to Project MKUltra. We know from Tom O'Neill's book Chaos that Charles Manson was possibly part of these CIA prison testing program. And we also know that Ted Kaczynski, aka the Unabomber, was a part of a mind control study done at Harvard. I've got all my sticky notes ready, and I'm interested to see how many infamous criminals I can connect to Project MKUltra.
No doubt. Listen, there's a lot to that. A lot of people, they like to say, oh, that's conspiracy theory and all that. And you know, okay. So it doesn't change the fact that it happened. And it's not a theory. I mean, they even put it out in movies. There was a movie back, wanting to say in the it was either the early 80s or late 70s with Charles Bronson, and it was called Telephone, and it was spelled Telefon, like in German. MKUltra, mind control. The K is the control, and it's in German, so there's like one of your first hints. And what it was is this dude, these people, you know, like the one scene that sticks out to me is there's this guy, he's like a bank president, you know, very respectable guy. And, you know, he's in his office and his secretary calls and says, you know, you have a call on such and such a line. And he says, oh, okay. And he goes and he picks it up. He goes, hello. And this guy says like the line out of a Robert Frost poem. And all of a sudden, this guy just kind of blanks out. And then he goes over to the safe. He opens it up and he takes out a gun. He makes sure it's loaded. He goes into this room, shoots this guy, and then kills himself. And it was like, what the fuck? And so this is what was happening. They had these people that had been programmed, didn't even know they were programmed, and just call them up and give them this thing. And they had a certain mission that they were supposed to carry out. And then they would usually off themselves. So really a great movie. If you ever get a chance to see it, find it. It's a pretty good movie. If you can tolerate the cheesy 1970s soundtrack and everything, try to get past that. You know, you're gonna limit yourself. Okay, if you're stuck into 4K, you know, come on, man. We had good shit before you could see good. So you gotta be cool. Oh, this is pretty cool. Somebody named Marjorie Bishop put this out today. Have you ever questioned how much of what they tell you actually makes sense? And she says, of course, research flat Earth. And I'm down with. Listen, I like the way I like the way the conversation's going. Where there's a shift toward people in the idea of biblical Earth, because it is appearing more and more that it is exactly that. And if anything, I think the final experiment kind of exemplified that, because here it brought everybody into this, first off, with a false dichotomy. This wasn't it, regardless of what you see, and what is not going to turn the Earth into a globe. That's just not happening. And like I said, if there is a 24-hour sun observed, then it means that there's an anomaly with the sun that we don't understand, or there is some fuckery afoot. And we soon discovered that there was some fuckery afoot. So we're left in the same boat we were before this even took place, just like I said would happen, where we're reliant on questionable video and testimony of people that we don't even fucking know. Okay. I have to say, I don't give a shit if they get mad or they don't get mad. They were very, very lackadaisical in their efforts on the flat Earth side. They dropped the ball. I'm sorry. You had plenty of time to prepare for this and think up what you want to do. You know, you didn't even imagine yourself. I'm going to be on camera. Here's what I'm going to fucking do. That kind of thing, you know. I mean, I'm just sorry. It was very, very slipshod, and I don't think it was very. I think the reactions were the tell. I think, in my opinion. So whatever. I like what we looked at just a little bit ago. That's taken into a realm. And I'm going to put a link to that guy's channel too. Let me grab that real quick. Because he's got some good stuff, you know. It's worth consideration. And you know, it's just like what I say with music. You got to look at everything. Don't just get stuck on, I'm in this group and I believe this, and I'm in this group and I believe this and this. And it's like, hold on a second, man. When you go to a buffet, do you limit yourself on what you're gonna, you know, have? You're gonna maybe have a little bit of chicken. You might have a little bit of roast beef too, and some potato. You know what I'm getting at. And it's like that with music. If you limit yourself to a genre, it's like limiting yourself to only what the pizza outfit has every night. You know, sometimes Chinese is good. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a good home cooked meal is all right. You know, you have to have a wide horizon to be able to experience everything. And let's face it, we're not here for very long. And you want to try to experience as much as you possibly can within the realm of possibility and be able to take in and enjoy everything that you find. But instead, the way the system is even set up is it keeps you constantly in a state of confusion, fear, and anger, worry. And it's like, no, I'm gonna be fine. Fuck all these jokers and what they're pushing on me. It's almost, I love that song, that Tom Petty song, Stop Jamming Me. You know, that's what it's like. It's like, quit blowing all this fucking bullshit at me. You know, I don't have to tolerate it. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Right? Anyway, what I was going to do, like I said, and I didn't, Light Before the Tunnels channel is right here. I'm going to put this down here in the chat for all you folks at home. Go over there, give it a look, see. Taste it. If you don't like it, you ain't got to eat it, right? Just taste it one time. Give it a shot. There you go. All right. So I think about that. Who'd that be back there? Mr. Chicago.
Me.
Bear, what's up, my man?
Not much, man. As it's getting finished eating, fixing my thermostat. I didn't want to freeze to death, so.
Ah, yeah, that's a bad thing. Pretty cold where you're at, too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like
it's supposed to warm up a little bit this weekend and then go back down to sub-zero, so.
Well, they're showing 16 degrees for my local weather on the internet right now, but my outside thermometer said 23. I mean, I don't like that's any fucking better. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's
my
like
thermometer says cold as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, once you get to a certain point, it doesn't matter now. Okay.
Right.
It's just fucking unbearable cold.
Right.
And,
yeah.
So let me ask you, would you stand outside long enough with no shirt on to pose with a bunch of other guys to get a picture took?
I wouldn't stand outside with my shirt off with a bunch of guys anyway,
but you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
There long enough to take a photograph and
no
shit?
way. No way.
You ain't getting me to go. Listen, I put my coat on to let the dogs out.
Yeah, no.
I ain't even going out there with them. I let them out. They go out in the yard and shit. I'm standing there by the doors all.
Yeah, no. At a certain point in the wintertime, your feet and your hands just get like almost to where they don't want to work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, oh my God. What do we got over here on Rumble side? I got Leo Slayer and 1776 Rebel Patriot. What do we got? 5 people over there. All right. Sometimes I get large views. Sometimes I don't. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't show me everything. Got 200 people over on the YouTube side right now. Welcome, everybody. If I didn't hit you up before, I try to keep up with the chat. You'd figure I'd be better at it after 2 years. This channel is 2 years old now.
Which is weird because like when you start a stream over on YouTube and then you switch over to Rumble, you get like twice the amount of views over there. So you can see how YouTube's suppressing you over on this side.
Oh, yeah. Let me see, where am I at? I put that link down. We were over here on this thing. Ah, yes. This is pretty good.
The Earth is flat, and here's the proof you've been searching for. Ever wonder why we've been fed so many stories about outer space? Satellites floating around, endless galaxies and moon landings. They sound cool, right? But have you ever questioned how much of it actually makes sense? Let's break it down. If satellites are supposedly orbiting in space, how come NASA and private companies launch hundreds of high-altitude balloons every year? These massive balloons carry thousands of pounds of equipment, telescopes, internet devices, you name it. And here's a shocker. Underwater cables transmit most of our internet, not satellites. So why all the space propaganda? Now let's dive into the bigger picture, the Earth itself. Ever heard of the 360-degree ice wall in Antarctica? This colossal wall is said to hold the oceans in place, acting like the edge of a flat world. Researchers have tried to dig into it only to discover something bizarre. First, it feels like solid stone. Dig a little deeper and you hit something they call sky ice. What's weird? Every hole they make seals itself as if the ice is alive. And it doesn't stop there. This sky ice phenomenon mirrors what happens when rockets hit the firmament, a mysterious water-like barrier above us. Footage shows waves rippling across it as if it's repairing itself. Coincidence? Think about this. Over 85% of our oceans remain unexplored. Yet we're told we've mapped out the infinite cosmos. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? The sky's blue because there's water above it. Just like our bodies are made of 60% water, Earth's balance depends on it too. Curious to learn more truths that challenge the mainstream narrative? Hit follow and dive into the rabbit hole. The answers are out there. Are you ready to find them?
I'm really sorry to hear that, Austin. That's sad, but that was a lot of puppies for a litter.
What kind of puppies were they? Or what kind of dogs?
Pitties.
Oh.
Yeah. And what an eclectic menagerie of them. There was like one was black and white spotted, another one was all white, another one was like a brown, like chocolate color. I mean, it was all different, whatever. It was like new cars. All different color paint, you know?
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy.
Seemed like a pretty big litter. I don't
It
know.
was. It was huge, yeah. What is this here? Part about the color sky was a bit wrong. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. And that was put out by Marjorie Bishop. But yeah, you know, they've always got you focused up at the sky, wanting you to think about planets and all this other bullshit and going to other worlds and all this other stuff. And it's like, man, first off, how do you even know what that shit is up there? You know, don't tell spectroscopy. Well, shut up. Pseudoscience fucking nonsense. Well, it puts out the same spectrum. You know what else puts out the spectrum of light? Light. Okay? So you don't have any fucking idea what the sun is, and much less how big it is or how far away it is or any other such nonsense. Trying to measure that thing, look, that's been a fool's errand for hundreds of years. Trying to measure how far away the sun is and all that. It's a fool's errand. Look at it. It's gone from 3 million miles. It went up to 105 million miles and then back down to 93.
93 or something, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that, man.
It's a big measuring tape.
That's what I'm saying. This any attempt to try and quantify it, you know, and measure it or anything like that. Well, it's been like a fool's errand. They'll try to tell you, oh yeah, and we sent up this probe, and it went right into the sun, and we got all this data back and everything. And I'm like, how hot did you say that fucking thing is now? And you sent a probe into it? And
Yeah,
it
no
sent
kidding.
back data? It sent
Right.
data.
And we got something that can withstand that heat, right? Okay.
Right. That's I'll tell you what, here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a little tiny probe. We're going to throw it into a fucking vat of molten iron, okay? And I want that thing to send a signal back to you, okay, about it being in the fucking molten iron. Come on, man.
We're just going to cover it with that high temp tape that you put on like ductwork.
Yeah, the gold foil. They probably got magic gold foil all over that fucking thing.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
I
they
forgot
used
about
to-
the gold
Oh,
foil.
yeah, I forgot all about the magic gold foil. Shit. What was I thinking, man? Oh, man, here's another thing, too. This is now, Lord Almighty. We know that okay, so they're always trying to be getting us to eat oil. You notice that?
Eat
Or
what?
most of our pharmaceuticals are petroleum-based fucking
Oh, yeah.
medicines and shit, right?
Damn near everything we have is made out of oil. Or petroleum.
Listen,
I should say.
they developed like cottonseed oil as an engine lubricant, man, way back in the 1800s. And then watch, this is fucking crazy. This is crazy. You're gonna like this.
1829, cotton producers started crushing cotton seeds for oil. They sold it as engine lubricant, and some guy said, hey, maybe we could eat the oil. Yeah, let's eat it. In 1911, Crisco massively marketed their cottonseed oil. Everyone ate Crisco, oh yeah. Now in 2024, we all eat a 5 ton of oil. Corn, canola, soy, sunflower oil. Humans never ate this much linoleic acid. to 5 times as much low-uric acid as natural. That's a lot of foot king vegetables. Should we eat engine oil? Maybe, maybe not.
It's wild how like all these years, like all of a sudden now we're getting like conscious about all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's been around for how long? And it, you know, there's this, I always thought about like my grandpa, he used to smoke and stuff. And then like right before he passed, he quit smoking. And I swear that like after he quit smoking, he just went downhill from there. Like it was just a weird thing. I don't know.
Paul said Paul Hodgson says I had some WD-40 last night, but that was pretty good. Just have that wash down a couple bites of a paint stick. Hell, you got it going on, man. All right, I'm gonna try this James O'Keefe thing again with this catching this
yeah, I caught a
guy
little
with the underage girl, and hopefully, since I got sound now, I restarted X. That's what I did. I just shut down X and I restarted it back up, and it seemed to do the trick. Let's see if we got it this time. Now the premise is this guy came over, and I'm gonna go over the information again here real quick. All right, so this guy that had been undermining the he's a Pentagon official, and he was undermining Trump. It said Jamie Manina, a Pentagon official who was just exposed for attempting to undermine Donald Trump's presidency, was caught in 2021 trying to have relations with an underage girl. Interestingly, Manina also worked under Hillary Clinton's State Department, which faced accusations of covering up elite PDF file rings. The Pentagon finally fired him. Almost every single person who tries to undermine Trump is a PDF file. And of course, that's the opinion of this poster, Shadow of Ezra. Let me bring up this video and hopefully we can hear it this time.
What's amazing is that these people just keep getting caught in this trap every time. It's like you haven't figured out by now that these people are like targeting you. Like,
yeah,
they're supposed to be the brightest minds in the Pentagon and wherever other 3-letter agency they work for. But anyway.
Yes. Well, that's what John McAfee said even about Bitcoin. That Bitcoin was a huge trap.
Yeah.
Catch a bunch of these fucking people. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, the premise is this guy's coming over to meet this young underage girl.
Wonderful.
And these guys are waiting. He knocks on the door and these guys go hide in the closet. All right. Can you hear it?
Unless they're just being quiet.
Yeah, they're being quiet. You hear that?
I don't hear anything right now.
You don't hear that girl?
Not really. Maybe it's just my end though.
You guys hear that? That girl's talking? Yeah, Mojo says it's 5 by 5.
Okay. It might just be me then.
God damn it, Mojo. That's what I was asking, and you said I had sound. Okay, well, I guess we can't watch that.
Yeah, I didn't hear it
For
either.
some reason, the sound on that won't come through.
I heard it when they were like shuffling into the closet, and then after that, I didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear that girl? She was talking?
Mm-hmm.
See, they're probably fucking with us.
What was next? Chris Hansen was going to show up and
no, they come out and she
No, I
said
know, I'm
she was going to go in and change into a schoolgirl outfit, and she wanted him to be naked when he came back. When she came back, and she goes, "You don't have a problem with that, do you?" And he's like, "No, I can do that." And so you can pretty much guess the rest of what took place from that.
And I presume that he knew what her age was and all that prior.
Oh yeah. Listen, these people are crazy. Let's see, what is today? It's the 15th, isn't it?
There's that guy on Rumble too. I can't remember what his name is. It kind of does a show like that too, where he goes around catching people like that. But I don't think they're in the government or anything, but just predators.
Yeah. Listen, the demons are rolling, man. The demons are rolling. This is what I've noticed. they're like freaking out. What's happening, David? How are you tonight?
Hello, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, the demons are flipping shit, man. They really are. They're going full force, whatever they can do. And have you seen Newsom in any of these interviews he does?
A few of them, yeah, a couple.
Oh my God, he's like rocking like this, like he's on some kind of shit, man.
How did you know that's why I wanted to come on real quick?
I didn't know.
He was doing this, shaking his head, rolling his shoulders, saying, when we get through the healing and we get to rebuild better than before, since we, no, that's the other guy. Talking with governor out of Hawaii, out of the Maui fires, he says, and we've got these speculators, and I got my legal team already on it, and we'll let you know in a few days about getting, you know, shit rebuilt. And he has a company. He's involved in that reconstruction personally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Personal vested interest.
Yeah, he's already said he's been talking to investors.
Yeah.
Should go about as well as that high-speed rail they're going to put in, right?
And the other TikTok viral video on director Mark Pesterl, the director of the County Los Angeles Waterworks, says in a live news broadcast that when we get done healing and we get to start rebuilding better than it was before we started the fires. He said, a Freudian slip.
Hang on, I got that right here.
That we started the better than before since we started the fires. I couldn't believe it. That's a true Freudian slip.
Ease communities back and rebuild them better.
Yeah, I got it right here.
They're pretty brazen about what they do, though. So sometimes it's not a slip.
Mental and physical health first before we embark upon what is going to be a journey to rebuild, ease communities back, and rebuild them better than they were when we started this fire. Mental and physical.
Build back better
than before we started this fire. Oh my God. Yeah, that's right in your face. They have, I don't know, man, maybe they have to tell you.
Well, that's Satan's rule. He has to tell you, because if you don't do nothing, you're complicit, then he can get away with it.
Right.
You see?
Well, we have now 5 more days, actually 4, because this day is almost over, until a new president assumes power. They're talking about he's going to do a bunch of shit. He's going to start a new agency called the External Revenue Service.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
What's that about?
They're going to use it to enforce tariffs and shit on foreign entities that are trying to trade and everything with the United States. And so they're going to fuck us and them. So
because we need another agency.
Yeah, that's what we need is more bureaucracy. Yeah. Brian Young did a thing about it earlier today on the Disturbing Illusion channel.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good video. It's like, I love his reactions to shit. I like how he reacts to stuff. He's like, are you fucking kidding me?
There's really this like weird feeling right before Trump's about to come in, like that, like everything's just going so smooth. It's like the calm before the storm. I don't know what it is. There's this, like, he's fixing all these problems that we've had for the past couple of years. Like, oh, he's going to come back in and just step right in there and take over, and everything's going to be good again. Like, all this crap's going away, and he's going to, you know, there's just a real weird feeling about it.
Yeah, it's, well, and here's this thing too, is that they're really exacerbating. Now we're finding out that at Jimmy Carter's funeral that they apparently arrested 2 would-be assassins that were going to try to get him there. This thing here with, what is this fucking guy's name? Biden's national security advisor said an unexpected event in the next few days is totally possible. So I don't know. This is just a little clip of him saying that.
Oh yeah.
I just will say one last word, which is I hope this is my last time at this podium, at least for a little while. I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean, the only thing that would bring me back is an unexpected event in the next few days, which, as you all know, is totally possible given everything you've seen over the course of the past years. But if it is, in fact, my last time before you, I just want to say thank you for what you guys do every day. Thank you for putting up with me. I just will say one last word, which is.
So.
That's it. It's going to happen.
There you are. Well, they're at least seeing it into the mind. Yeah.
They tell us subtly.
Yeah.
Of all the millions of things he could have just said in saying goodbye, he had to say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
8,000 National Guard troops on Inauguration Day been added to it.
No shit.
8,000. Yep.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that seems to be that there's a lot of people who become aware of this trafficking organizations that are working deep cover and providing products, children, for the elite. And listen, this blew up in Belgium back in the late 90s. And I mean, it was a big one. If you haven't ever looked into the Marc Dutroux case in Belgium, holy shit, ties right into, I think, the Mothers of Darkness castle that's nearby where this guy had even a dungeon in his basement, man. And the police were just so purposely inept. Purposely inept. I mean, the police were at his house, heard the girls screaming, couldn't locate where it was coming from, so they left.
Bought and paid for.
I mean, what the fuck, right? So here's a thing. Alan Dershowitz, I'm sure you've heard.
Oh boy, not that guy.
Yeah, he's out here on the street, and somebody's asking him some questions here.
What did you do on Epstein's Island? What did you and your wife do on Epstein's Island?
Find out the lies that these people are telling.
What did you and your wife do on Epstein's Island? Do you regret going to Epstein's Island?
And don't listen to these anti-Semites.
Do you regret going to Epstein's Island? What did your wife do on Epstein's Island?
Let me get a picture of you so I can sue you.
Oh, whoa.
Let me get a picture of you so I can sue you. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Oh my.
He seems to be one of those bulletproof small hats too.
Dude, though, these people can't go out in public anywhere.
Well, the
but
problem
people are calling them out.
There's never any Christian patriots that believe in becoming a martyr. So they never explode themselves. It's the other side that does that. So until we get a real government in place to prosecute, I want to see Pam Bondi and Patel Cash go after this deep state.
Well, will they though? Listen, we were told lock her up, and then the moment the moment that Donald Trump was inaugurated, and they were, let's lock her up. Oh, we don't care about that anymore.
Well, look at that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Look at Tulsi Gabbard. She's already flip-flopping on the visas and stuff. And it's like, what did you expect? But
you think Tulsi
they got their marching orders.
You think Tulsi might be a dude?
No.
I wouldn't put it.
I don't
think
so.
It's hard to say, man. There's so many of them in that level. You find out in those.
She's got features.
Wow.
Does she?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know, I didn't come across that Trump video until like 2 or 3 years after he's in, because I kept thinking to myself, why is she not locked up? Well, it turns out he says, oh, that was just for the campaign. You know, that was just rhetoric. But we got to leave that in the past now. He said that, like you said, days after he won.
Well, he said he didn't think it would be good. It wouldn't be a good look to lock up former presidents. Yeah.
Yeah. So does that mean the deep state under Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, is Ray Epstein or Ray Epps going to get arrested for insurrection? Is the director of the FBI going to get arrested for political warfare?
Are they going to let any of the January 6ers out?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Now, there's one
These
J6er
questions will
that
be
said,
answered on the next episode of Soap.
on Stu Peters yesterday, there was a J6er that said, if he gets pardoned from Trump, but it's not a blanket pardon for everybody, he's not going to accept it. He's going to stay in with everybody.
What? Who the hell would
Because
do that?
the point is, they all need to be pardoned. Is what he was feeling.
Yeah.
Now, I know some of those people probably were the ones smashing the windows and, breaking in. But I mean, it's also been 4 years ago.
Well, the thing is, I don't think that they were. I think that those were like Antifa and shit, and they went.
Yes.
I've seen video of these people
Asian
changing into
provocateurs.
clothes and everything. All right, so what I saw from the cameras in the Capitol building were uniformed police officers escorting the QAnon shaman, as well as the guy. You remember the guy who was? I think he came up on one of my last two streams, Eric. He was right there in the newspaper next to that guy.
Oh, yeah, that Eric Joseph guy.
Yeah, that guy with the Chinese writing that he had on his thing there.
The guy your son called out.
Yeah. So, but we saw uniformed police officers escort those people in there and open doors, unlock doors, and open them up for them and shit, So it's like that was not an insurrection, right?
No, of course not.
But some of those other people, whether they were incited to do something or not, it doesn't matter. If somebody tells you to do something wrong and you do it, then it's on you. It's on you. Now, those people that were coercing, those people that were inciting it, absolutely, they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent. Absolutely, 100%. Especially being as that it was a setup like that just to get a bunch of people, have a big propaganda thing for Nancy Pelosi. So, but I'll tell you one thing that's got is with the, these fires out west. Now I'm hearing some stuff. We've heard a lot of stuff about tunnels and tunnels that go from like the Playboy Mansion to certain celebrities' homes and shit right there in that same area. And apparently there's like a huge network of tunnels. I found this on the People's Voice. It says wildfire investigators. Let me bring this up.
Well, I saw that they were bringing in the Mexican army to help put out some of these fires and stuff. It's like, what the hell you?
Well, it says that the wildfire investigators uncover vast network of child trafficking tunnels beneath Hollywood. Breaking news shakes the glitz and glamour of Hollywood to its core. Wildfire investigators have uncovered, and it goes, we can read it or we can listen to it. Why don't we go ahead and listen to it? Let me bring him up.
Breaking news shakes the glitz and glamour of Hollywood to its core. Wildfire investigators have uncovered a vast subterranean tunnel network beneath Los Angeles. This labyrinth of hidden passages, allegedly tied to a sinister child trafficking operation, has been linked to some of Hollywood's most exclusive neighborhoods. According to investigators, these tunnels connect A-list celebrities' mansions to a main artery stretching through Hollywood and Pacific Palisades. Even more disturbing, branches of this network reportedly held dozens of children, some rescued alive, others tragically not. As the mainstream media scrambles to corrupt the discovery and distract the public, we're here to uncover the chilling truths they don't want you to hear. Whistleblowers have been warning that the US is riddled with secret tunnel networks used by child sex traffickers. Jewish tunnels in New York featuring bloodied mattresses and children's cots shocked the world last year. Hunter Biden expressed his love of a notorious tunnel network in the form of a tattoo on his back. According to investigators, Diddy has also been exposed using tunnels for trafficking purposes. He purchased a house near the Playboy Mansion, which infamously featured tunnels connecting the nearby residences to the mother lode. Yes, the same Playboy that published photos of a new 10-year-old Brooke Shields. If that's what they considered appropriate for the magazine at the time, imagine what they considered appropriate behind closed doors.
These were discovered recently in a vault at the Playboy Mansion. John, this is not a joke. These are real blueprints. If you zoom in on the blue, now, okay, what we have here is on one side of it, there's a Playboy Mansion. On the other side of it, there's Warren Beatty's house, and they've constructed a blueprint for a tunnel to connect the two of them. Now, Jack Nicholson was Warren Beatty's neighbor, so he had his own little offshoot, and James Caan, so this, he lived off in the other direction. The blueprints actually have their names on them. Northbound tunnel to Mr. J. Nicholson residence.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Wow.
The reason that this was come across is that Playboy, the publishers of Playboy now were researching an article about the 70th birthday, or an article about the history of Playboy and the history of Hugh Hefner, and they were going through old photos, and they found some photos of construction happening that were these tunnels, and they went to ask the current general manager of the Playboy Mansion, and this is what they said. Playboy.com published this. We asked the new general manager at the mansion about these photos. He said, very matter-of-factly, that's probably when they built the tunnels in the 70s. So they were like, what tunnels? What are you talking about, tunnels?
What's been hidden in the shadows will finally come to light. 2024 was just a prelude, a warm-up for what's to come. But 2025? This is the year the crimes of the elite will be laid bare for the world to see. Earlier this week, special agents with Homeland Security Investigations and the US Border Patrol found a sophisticated cross-border tunnel connecting Texas to Mexico. Transnational criminal organizations mistakenly think they can avoid detection by moving people and contraband underground. HSI El Paso Special Agent Jason T. Stevens said, "This recent discovery is a significant blow to their operations, as it highlights our capability to disrupt their sophisticated smuggling networks." Investigators confirm they believe this tunnel was used to sex traffic children, and now it has been exposed and forensically investigated. Meanwhile, in Hollywood, the wildfires are doing more than just scorching the hills. They're exposing hidden truths buried deep beneath the surface. As flames consume the facades of the entertainment industry elite, they're also illuminating a web of darkness. A vast underground tunnel network has been uncovered, reportedly linking the homes of A-list celebrities to a central artery of a child trafficking syndicate. The fires may be purging more than just landscapes. They're unearthing secrets the powerful are desperate to keep hidden. And they're successful in covering up their crimes because 95% of the world is not ready to learn what this drawing represents on their shirts, or what these signet rings encasing human blood represent, and the club they signify the wearer belongs to. The masses are sleeping on the truth. They are turning a blind eye, and this is costing children's lives. Every child deserves a safe and secure future. That's something General Mike Flynn has powerfully reminded us of time and time again. January the 11th marks National Human Trafficking Awareness Day, making this a critical moment to shine a light on the darkest corners of our society and stand together against this unthinkable crime.
My name is General Mike Flynn, and my message today is that every child deserves a safe and secure future. So join us in the fight against child trafficking. Join the movement to end child trafficking. Together we can make a difference. Together, let's shine a light on the darkness of child trafficking and make a difference. Let's protect and defend every child. God bless you, and God bless America.
Now, the outlet that exposed Pizzagate before anyone else dared, and the team that broke the Bieber story years before it. We're back with something that will shake you to your core. 95% of the world is not ready to hear this, but we don't care. We're here because the truth matters. We could call this story too explosive even for free speech platforms like X or Rumble. Or we could tell you this is the kind of deep dive investigation that costs so much to produce, it should be locked behind a paywall. But no, we're putting it out there. All you have to do is subscribe to my X account to watch the rest of this report.
So then still you have to, it's kind of behind a paywall, but nevertheless, that right there is just enough that I'm like, God bless America. There is so much evidence, so much. I can't see how people can just shrug it off and say, oh, no, it's just some conspiracy theory. You know, I'm sure there's some embellishments here and there or whatever. And you got to really kind of look at it with logical eyes. But yeah, there's really a vast network of tunnels every fucking where.
Do you have to pay for an X account? Did they make that a thing?
What's that now?
Do you have to pay for an X account, like a membership or whatever?
No, you can just have an account. You don't have to. You don't have to. If you do get premium, I think, or something, you get then like they put a blue check mark.
That's what it was.
And I'm not really. I don't give a fuck about blue check marks or wrenches or none of that other shit. There's people that are obsessed with that kind of shit, though.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's I can't get past that. It's oh, here's something cool. Your smart TV is watching you. Did you guys know that?
I was pretty sure of it.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. Watch this.
You watch your TV, but with this hack, your TV can watch you. Show us how that works.
So one of the things that we were able to do with the smart TV platform was actually abuse the browser to the extent that we could actually gain access to the camera that's built into the TV.
Right.
And so what we can prove here is that with a little bit of extra code, we can turn the camera on in your browser.
Wow.
And while this is evident to you right here because we've designed it that way, this is something that we can do invisibly and actually have the camera running behind the web page that you're looking at.
So what this means is I could be sitting here watching TV from my bedroom, and you could be anywhere in the world looking at this image of me watching.
Yep, I could be sitting on a laptop in a cafe in Paris, and as long as I have a network connection, I'd be able to get into your TV and access the camera.
The kind of scary things about it is that it doesn't actually give any indication that the camera's on, and there is no little LED that shows up when the camera's on. So it could actually be watching you and you never even know.
What is a smart TV, and why is it a playground essentially for hackers?
Right. It's a computer. So instead of just being, a tube and some other electronics, now it has a web browser and it has, a lot of devices are running Linux.
But the real danger is when people start using smart TVs for things like online banking, we can take a popular bank address and translate that into a different IP address to a site that directs to a site that we control. So it may look like your bank's login, but you're actually entering a username and password that goes to us instead of your bank.
In a statement to CNN Money, Samsung says it takes consumer privacy very seriously. The camera can be turned into the bezel of the TV so that the lens is covered or disabled by pushing the camera inside the bezel. The TV owner can also unplug the TV from the home network when the smart TV features are not in use. As an added precaution, we also recommend that customers use encrypted wireless access points when using connected devices.
Well, that's just like I was at Home Depot earlier and I was shopping for, a thermostat or whatever. And I was looking for whichever aisle was on my phone. And then I looked down on my phone and it says, "You're currently in Home Depot." I was like, yeah, I kind of figured you knew that, but
thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. Thanks for the confirmation.
Damn. That's crazy. I think there's a thing too. I think my wife knows how to do it. Like if you're at Walmart or something, it'll you can have your location and it'll tell you where the thing you're looking for is at, like map you in the store to where it's at or something.
Right. I think that's what it was doing, but yeah.
God. Did you get a thermostat, new one? Good.
Yeah.
You watch your.
Yeah, I don't.
I got a non-smart one, a non-programmable.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
Going with the old style.
Let me see here. What is this guy? This guy says that PG&E.
Yeah, the meters.
When did you ever hear of PG&E? You guys remember the movie Aaron Brockovich?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh. And from what I understand and I can't remember what it was over, but I have heard recently that she was geared up going after some other.
Well, she was part of that East Palestine, Ohio thing, I think, right?
That was the boys in the water.
With the chemical dump out there?
With the
No, it was in where was that? Was that in Pennsylvania? I think.
The PG&E movie?
No, no. Oh no, it was in California. Yeah,
that was California.
It was in California, and it was the water was poison and shit, and there was people dying from it and everything. Yeah, I know the one I keep mixing it up with another one. It was out here I watched not long ago with Mark Ruffalo.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either. But this says that the PG&E knows smart meters catch fire and they're covering it up. Pat Wrigley, a former meter reader, was fired for his whistleblower testimony. So let's go down here what they got to say on this. Is this where he's saying it?
I was a meter reader for 9.5 years with PG&E in the Marin office before I was illegally fired because I was not intimidated in being quiet with the problems I saw firsthand regarding smart meters inaccuracy. PG&E knows that they do catch on fire when they are remotely turned back on when a customer who is delinquent in their bill finally pays their bill. These meters catch fire. They know it, and they are covering it up. When I started working at PG&E, the annual budget in meter reading was $70 million for roughly 1,000 meter readers. My supervisor, who was my best friend at the time, told me this. The Public Utility Commission and PG&E continually lie to the customers, saying it is a $2.2 billion system, when the Public Utility Commission and PG&E, when questioned by a law firm suing over smart meters, admit it's a $10 billion system. PG&E tells their own employees it is a $10 billion system. That makes this illegal because it is a crime of fraud against the consumers of California. Annual cost of meter reading into the $10 billion this system never, ever, ever comes close to breaking even. You cannot allow PG&E to charge extra for a meter reader to come read a customer's meter when they already do it infinitely cheaper. I also like to point out the fact that no one else in PG&E does surveys for the gas department but the meter readers. Thank you.
Damn, so they're going to be embroiled in another scandal.
Well, I think you were showing something, or if not, I saw it somewhere else where like the PG&E, like they had somebody go out to where one of those meters caught fire and they were taking them off after the house had, went up in flames or whatever. And it's like, wouldn't they have like serial accounts or serial numbers that tied to the accounts of those things? They'd still know whether or not, I don't know, but it just seems like, how would you get away with that? Like just going and taking the meter off after the battery caught your house on fire.
Right. This guy's usually got some good shit up.
Do you hear static off of my end?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody's like eating Jello or something. I don't know what that is.
Well, it seems it's about that time again. The time I go patent hunting, because every time there's something big in the news, I seem to find a patent. And I don't know if you've seen this picture or this video. Or this video where things from the other fire west of LA, the blue things didn't seem to want to burn. None of them. Which brings us to this video, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen, where a certain color doesn't seem to be impacted by that directed light. Which brings us to US patent number 103378. You can see the rest, but click on it, and what do we have? I'm not even going to say it up there, but you can read, and you can click, and you can read, and you can scroll. Look for yourself. I'll tell you one thing I probably know for sure, though, is I bet a lot of the elites in that area, I bet none of them lost their lives. I bet they had some advanced warning of what was coming. But of course, all this is just speculation and satire, and I don't even know if that is CGI, AI, or what, but if I were you, I'd use my noggin and research more myself. Entertainment only, of course.
What do you think, man? You think there's something to that directed energy?
Yeah.
That they're using that?
Yeah. I mean, there's evidence out there of it. They've talked about it in the past. And now, like, now that people are starting to research it, they're like, oh, you can't talk about that.
Let's see what we got here. Let's see.
It's just like the chemtrails or cloud seeding or whatever you want to call it, too. It's like they've mentioned, they bring it up, like John Brennan has talked about it. But if you bring it up, well, you're crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm crazy, but I'm not the guy that went all over these like forums all over the world talking about it. Okay.
All right, let me see here. We're going to add an option. There we go. New poll. There it is. New poll up on the screen. And that poll is only on the YouTube side. I don't know how to make polls on Rumble, unfortunately. They don't have that option. I don't see it anywhere. Boo hiss. You need to add that option. Rumble. So hopefully the Rumble people are listening to me right now. I doubt that they are, but just in case, you never can. See, there's some of this stuff I can't even give you.
Well, they don't even have mods and stuff over on Rumble, do they?
Yeah, they got a way to do it now, I think. I'm not sure exactly how to do it. I need to spend more time learning this shit on Rumble. It's a lot different than on YouTube.
By the time you figure that out, they'll have another platform out.
Oh my God, yeah. I hope not. Jesus. Oh yeah, here's this screwball. I mean, this guy, this Governor Newsom, what a shithead, right? A real shithead. California Governor Gavin Newsom smiles and sways side to side as he stands in the rubble of homes destroyed by the wildfires while talking about speculators coming in buying up properties. I think one of y'all was talking about that just a minute ago. Is that you, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so sick to watch. You gonna play it?
It's only 21 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks. We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators.
It's like he can't hold in his joy over it or something.
Another thing.
Oh,
go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
What, Dave?
I think it's only 40% contained.
Jeez, is that all?
They're still burning out there. When he said that was just the other day.
Yeah, where'd they say one started up in San Bernardino now?
Oh, really?
I think that's what they said, yeah.
There was also one in Oxnard County, Camarillo. They called it the auto lot, where a big building caught fire. This was a couple nights ago at 2 a.m.
A lot of the comments on this are saying, let me go back into this. Hold on one sec.
Another thing with his
Duper's delight, also known as duping delight, is a phenomenon where a person feels a sense of pleasure or joy after successfully deceiving others. This feeling can manifest through various facial expressions, body language, or vocal cues.
What's the word?
Duper's delight.
What is it called?
Delight. Duper's delight.
Duper's delight.
Yeah.
Damn, I never heard of that.
Yeah, you'll see prices
exactly what he was doing.
Okay, Robbie Parker. At the Captain Hook event that happened, right? Or didn't happen, or whatever the fuck, right? Supposedly his child had just been deceased in this tragedy, and you see him as he's coming up to speak at the podium. He's laughing and joking, And then as soon as he gets up to the podium, he just dons this sad smile, right? And it's
That's
like
the one that sounds like a beach up in Connecticut. Hook?
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Captain Hook. That's what I call it, Captain Hook.
Andy Snook, yeah.
So that, you know, and some of these other ones, like you just see them. Like I saw one, remember when they're down in Nashville, and I did a stream on it here and on Rumble. YouTube took it down. They ended it in the middle because I started going over some body cam footage, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense, you know, and we were really dissecting the shit apart. Anyway, it's like some of the witnesses talking about their mother. Oh, my mother was there. She was shot. And while she's telling these people that her mother was there at the shooting, and she smiles. And it's sort of like, wait a second. Nobody's going to be smiling when you're telling somebody, you know, here you are talking to some dumbass reporter while your mom's, you know, in the school with a shooter and all this other shit. And you're just going to, you know, you're probably not going to give an interview to begin with, but if you do, you're certainly not going to be smiling. You're just going to want to be able to just answer their questions and get back to your concerns or whatever. But that's another case of it. You see these people, they'll give themselves away. They can't help it.
Another thing with those interviews that he's been doing, they seem kind of like the background seems a little green screeny.
Yeah,
like,
it did look kind of weird, didn't it?
Sometimes, I mean, he's like, I'm a man of the people. I'm down here with the people, and the burn ashes. It's like, sure you are, buddy.
They did accidentally. I saw a post on X, and they did accidentally broadcast a burned body in the rubble, and they didn't realize it until after people went back and looked at it, and you can clearly see it as it's a totally charred person.
Oh boy.
You know, that's terrible, man. This is happening to all these people. A lot of times it's easy for people to say, yeah, well, it's the city of the damned. It's this, and it's a sin place, and they're horrible people, and this, that, and the other. Man, there's good people that live there too.
Yeah, and pets. There's probably a lot of pets that lost.
Yeah. So, you know, of course, you know, it's what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah too, though. You know, I mean, there might have been some people there too that just got caught up in it, but I don't know, man. It does seem like it doesn't seem, it's obvious that it's an intentional thing that they've got going on, you know, that they want this to happen. You know, it's no mistake. They want that 2028 agenda, or
2030.
Los Angeles 2028 be a smart city and all this shit for the Olympics. So that's going to be right on. And they'd already put in place all these zoning ordinances and shit. Like you can't, no new construction along the 101. It's like, what?
The Olympics always feels like those world fairs too. Like, you know, they just come in, they build everything up, and then they tear it all down right after it happens. It's
a Potemkin village.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or remember the bomb in Atlanta, the Summer Olympics.
Listen, ain't nobody cutting Hillary or Israel any slack on X. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, that's right. Trump came in and fixed it all. It's all over now.
Listen, we only got a couple days, and the Trump and the White Hats are going to fix the whole fucking thing. It's all fixed.
All your problems are over.
So this is interesting. I have a lot of people that are Christian in my, you know, to one degree or another, in my audience, and this is crazy. I'm going to show this. It's about 7 minutes long, but it's regarding the Schofield Bible. And another case of infiltration. See, this is another thing I got a problem with. This reference to Judeo-Christian. That's like dehydrated water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is. It's like a total oxymoron. And people here in the West, they're just so bamboozled and believe whatever the 501c3 preacher tells them from the pulpit.
Yeah.
And they don't really look into it themselves. Like this whole thing of oh, they're the chosen people. No, they're not. Read the fucking Bible. They're not.
Yeah, it's like
They
you can still
literally
be
are not.
you can still be spiritual and not have to join a cult. I mean, it's
Right. But I'm saying it's like trying to, I don't know. It's crazy. But one of the things they did was with the Schofield Bible. And is this guy Adam? He's a blue check mark.
That makes everything legit.
There you go. He says the Schofield Bible is a lie. They had the audacity to pervert an entire religion to serve their own ends, pure evil. That's why Eastern Christians, Eastern Orthodox Christians, they can't believe the people in the West are like what we got. They're like, what in the hell are you people even doing?
The amount of denominations is what gets me. It's like, holy, here's a branch for a branch for a branch.
Well, I mean, and that all falls into the line of they'll say whatever to tickle your ears.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's got a different tickle spot.
Yeah.
So how do we fix that? We get a whole bunch of different hands to do the tickling, you see?
Yeah.
Which is just more confusion. It really is. And I think that's one of the things that religion in itself breeds confusion. It really does, because if that's supposed to be an exemplification of your relationship with God, I don't know why you would want to adopt someone else's relationship with God. You have your own relationship with God. You're unique.
It's like, you're not paying your 10%. God's watching you this month.
Yeah. Funny how, what's God doing with all this money anyway?
Yeah, right.
I want to know.
Yeah, no. Should have a lot of it by now.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Listen, it's all traps that are brought upon people by the enticement of the material world. It's all through enticements and shinies and shit like that. You know, even if it's something of, you know, when you've got what you need, what else do you actually need? Everything beyond your needs is a want.
Yeah.
So you have to closely examine your wants. Where they stem from? You know, but people look beyond that because they're always, look, we're in a society that trains its people to try to keep up with the Joneses, try to outdo his neighbor. You know, he with who has the most toys wins. And it's like, no, that's not how this thing works, man. You got to get away from that. Anyway, let's see how the Schofield Bible is nonsense, according to this video.
If you remember when Bibles were like this in homes and in churches, every church had a Bible like this. You know, every Christian family had a Bible like this, and they put their family genealogy, the weddings, baptisms and burials. It was all put inside the Bible, and you passed it down generation to generation. This particular Bible was published in 1905. Now, the reason I brought it out is that I want to show a map that's in this Bible. Now, mind you, the Schofield Bible was not published until 1913.
Right.
And I have in my office an original 1913 Schofield, which was the introduction of the Zionist Masonic heresies about a future state of Israel and separating the church from Israel and all that rapture stuff. That's where it came from. It was a Masonic Zionist heresy that was introduced into the American churches in 1913. This is a 1905 Bible.
Pre-Schofield.
Pre-Schofield, with no Schofield notes in it. So you open it up, and this is on page 13. I mean, this thing's big. I want to show you. Here is a map of the Holy Land. And it says, what?
Oh, Palestine of the Holy Land. They misspelled Israel.
No,
Palestine.
Palestine.
Huh.
And all these Christian Zionists that tell me, Rick, there's never been a Palestine.
All right, so here's a still.
There it is.
Let's zoom in and show you here.
Yeah. So, yeah, you hear these people like John Hagee, there's never been a Palestine. Well, look at this Bible map from 1905.
And most Bibles,
yes,
from then had a map of
Palestine. And Palestine is in the Bible itself, in the Old Testament. So we're showing you this just because I'm trying to break through the propaganda, the confusion, the lies that the Zionists have implanted in millions of minds of Christians in America, and told them there's never been a place called Palestine.
But I have a map, Rick.
Right there it is. So with that in mind, do you know who lived in Palestine?
Palestinians?
Palestinians.
I got that one right.
Palestinians. And Palestinians were Jewish, Christian,
and Muslim.
Right.
They weren't a particular faith. They were citizens of a particular country.
Palestine. They were all Palestinians.
Yes.
Jesus was a Palestinian. Look at this. Okay. So Israel has never meant a political country.
No.
It's always meant the people of God.
Yes.
Yep.
The called out ecclesia, the people of God. That's what Israel means. It's not a political country. With that in mind, we're going to show you some of the scenes of the violence that's taking place in Palestine this week, because.
So that's really interesting I think, because of the fact that, you know, in these older Bibles, and that's the thing, you start looking at some of these older references and you compare it to the newer references, and you can see there's an ultimate, there's an agenda.
Yeah, you can see why it's so coveted real estate now.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, even the, like, I can't believe it. I thought that surely people of the faith of Christianity that believed the Bible as the living word of God, that it was, you know, that they still believed in a globe and all that other shit. You know, I thought, well, surely, you know, that once you get to a level of clergy, so to speak, that you would already know that it's not, you know, and that it would be kind of going against the Bible to believe that it is. But you won't find any preachers saying it's flat, just very few of them. You know, I mean, we had that Dean Odell is one. And there's a few out there, but I mean, you go to any one of these little Baptist churches or anything else in your community, and if you bring that up to the one of the elders or one of the reverends or whatever's there at that denomination, they'll say no. Yeah. You know, so makes you wonder, you know, what's going on. You know, why are you up here in your main toolbox? You deny the function of the tool. You know what I'm saying? That'd be like you have some mechanic come up to your house to do some work and he starts using a hammer on your engine and shit. And you're like, wait a minute, man. Are you sure you're a mechanic? Yeah, that's the way I look at it anyway. But
here's what's happened in following the 1917 Jewish Bolshevik revolution in Russia, where the Jewish Bolsheviks went in and slaughtered the Romanov families in a satanic ritual, imposed communism on Russia, killed hundreds of thousands, literally millions of Christians, hundreds of thousands of Christian Orthodox pastors, and burned their churches, and just a horrible attack on the Russian church in 1917 and afterwards. Then they began to infiltrate Palestine in the 1920s and the 30s. In the 1930s, there was a congressman in Texas, Lyndon B. Johnson, and he was smuggling guns and rockets and grenades from Texas to Palestine.
putting them in the hands of the Jewish communist terrorists that were infiltrating Palestine. There was no Israel, no state of Israel. It was Palestine.
And they crow about that. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's right from the Lyndon B. Johnson Library.
The crates were called. They were marked Texas grapefruits.
His grandmother was a Zionist. His maternal grandmother, too. Or yeah, I believe so. Yeah, either that or his aunt. It was like one of those once removed type relatives that he was close to.
The grenades, they were shipped as Texas grapefruits.
The same grapefruits that blew up the King David Hotel.
Right. So the 1920s, the 30s, and into the 40s, the European Ashkenazis invaded Palestine, infiltrated. The Arabs, Christian, Muslim, and Jewish, all Palestinians, were alarmed by the arrival of the communist Ashkenazis from Europe. The so-called Jewish settlers were killing. They killed the Jewish residents of Palestine.
Yes.
You understand that? They killed the Jews who lived in Palestine. They killed Christians. They killed Muslims. They finally got enough critical mass that they had enough numbers that they took over Palestine and declared their independence in 1948. And Harry S. Truman, a 33rd degree Freemason, quickly recognized this new country as a real country. And that's how we got to 1948 and the state of Israel. There's never been peace in the Middle East since that day. That day is marked by all Palestinians as a day of disaster.
Napka.
A day of disaster. The disaster continues to this day. The Ashkenazis invaders continue to take the land, the homes of the Palestinians who have resisted, refused to leave their houses, refused to leave their farms. It's not about Palestinians trying to chase out Jews. It's Jews who are trying to chase out Palestinians. And to this day, since 1948, they're still fighting them, trying to make them leave.
Right.
And these Palestinians have been...
That's putting it up in the truth. What happened to Dave? He rolled, man.
Yeah, I guess he jetted.
I didn't see him pop out. That's an interesting take on that,
Definitely.
And I have to say, it's in line with the way I see it. And having studied the issue, immensely. I mean, even up to and including, listen, they have so much control. Let me show you this. This is crazy. That I don't, they really got a control on people in the media. Let me see where that guy is at. This is
Israel, the only Middle Eastern country where all the people look white.
Yeah, I know. I know, right? Let me see, where is that? It says that about Tim Pool. Somebody brought up the USS Liberty on his show, and he was like, oh, no, we can't talk about that. Let me see, where is that? He got nervous as a whore in church, I'll tell you. Let me see. Thought I saved it. Hold on. Dershowitz freaking out. I might have to do a search for it. Shit.
What is it?
It was Tim Pool on his show. Somebody brought up the that's all right, I can do that. I can go up here and say Tim Pool Liberty. Oops.
Didn't he just sell out to the Daily Wire or something? Go figure, right?
Yeah. Listen, they got like some kind of a fake WWF
feud going on.
Yeah, whatever it is. Okay, yeah, I found it. Here it is. So this is Ian Crossland brings up the USS Liberty attack on the Timcast. Let me put this up on the screen. And Shabo's Goy, Tim Pool says, oy vey, shut it down.
Dude, I'm concerned with having American aircraft carriers over there. Like what I keep being told about the USS Liberty. That's something with the Israeli government.
No, you should be careful about that one.
Allegedly, the Israeli Air Force jet fighter aircraft.
I mean, they did end up paying out the American government.
So I'm concerned, like false flag operation, like a missile comes out of Gaza and hits one of our aircraft carriers, but it was actually an Israeli missile. Well, I don't want. we should get out of there.
It doesn't. But let me stop you there. It doesn't matter where the missile comes from. If a missile,
dude, I'm concerned with having American aircraft carriers.
So yeah, you gotta. Oh no, we can't talk about that. But the reality of it is, if you have not looked into the USS Liberty, if you're ignorant of that, and I don't mean that that's not a bad word. It just means that you don't know. Look up the USS Liberty and what happened there. In 1967, during the 6 Days War, Israeli boats as well as fighter jets with ground, ship missiles and shit attacked the USS Liberty, which was just there. It was like basically what you call a spy ship, but it was clearly marked and oversized U.S. flag on it. We were not involved. We were just monitoring the situation and keeping track of all the intelligence, right? So the Israeli Air Force and their Navy and shit came in and started firing on the USS Liberty, killed a bunch of sailors, wounded a bunch of other ones. And then these people afterwards were told that if they talked about it ever, that they would get either they would end up in prison, right? Or worse. So they were not allowed to talk about this. And it stayed under the radar for most Americans for, many years. And it's now resurfaced. These guys are old. And they're like telling their story. They're going, fuck you. What are you going to do to me now? And they're telling their story. And it's like, the big shutdown on that, especially now that Israel is really wanting us to be, the U.S. to become involved in their little pick a fight with everybody bullshit that they got going on. They shut it down. And of course, we know who controls the media. We know who controls all that. They brag about it. So of course they're going to censor any kind of talk about the USS Liberty. But I urge you to go back. Candace Owens did a interview with the guy that was there. You can go back and find that on her X channel. I think you can find it on her YouTube channel too, or at least on Rumble. And really an intriguing interview because this guy is giving you firsthand account of what was going on minute by minute. And
I'll have to look into that. I've heard it in passing, but never really looked into it at all.
Our own government was complicit all the way up to the White House.
Yeah.
They called back. There was a fighter wing that could be there in 20 minutes from another aircraft carrier. They scrambled and took off, and they were told to return. And I believe it was Johnson that said, I don't give a shit. I want that goddamn boat on the bottom. Yeah, because what that was going to do, see what you see, they were going to make it look like Egypt did it.
Yeah.
Egypt or Syria. Most likely Egypt, because that was a more prevalent force at that time. And and they were going to, then it would give American outrage for an unwarranted attack by this other group who it wasn't. And then that would bolster support and give us an excuse to get involved on Israel's behalf. As it turned out, it was a Russian observation plane that fucked it up.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Iraq War and stuff when they had that girl come and testify about all the babies and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, the military is real good about their PR.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, if you say anything, I mean, look how many, there's guys that die all the time, and it's died in a training mission,
Right.
It's always a training mission, but.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, this is what's so really screwed up about all this is, this whole thing, if it had gone the way that it was planned, and that Russian observation plane hadn't come with it and viewed this, the Middle East might look completely different. That would have been a total game changer right there, just in 1967. As it turned out, it didn't work out. The U.S. didn't become involved directly, and they only ended up taking the Golan Heights. But they were after Syria. They wanted Syria.
It's always been a battle for resources over there. I mean,
well, and also the passageways, the water passageways.
Right. Yeah. That too.
Okay. So then, who's controlling the commerce? There again, the commerce, the commercial law. Boom, 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 by the waterways. And the Greater Israel Project is they want everything between the Tigris and the Euphrates River. That's what the two stripes on their flag represent.
Oh, that's all right. We're going to get the Panama Canal back. So
are we though? I mean, I remember hearing about lock her up and all this other shit. And he's going to drain the swamp. And all he did was fill his own cabinet with swamp creatures. And I see him doing that same thing again. You know, so I don't know who the fuck is advising him or what his interview process really is. But dude, you got some real fucking boners in your cabinet already.
They're going to name it the MAGA Canal.
Yeah, the MAGA Canal. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a weird feeling about this whole thing. It just feels too good to be true. Like right now, it's like, oh, we're getting rid of the old guy Biden. Weekend at Bernie's is over, and we're going to bring Trump back in, and he's going to fix it all.
Didn't I think Biden? I guess he gave his farewell address. Did he?
Yeah, I guess
that tonight.
Yeah, as if anybody's paying attention, but yeah.
So that was tonight. Let's see if there's anything about that.
I think he screwed that one up like he generally does. I didn't hear it, but
yeah, farewell address is trending. So let's see what they got to say on that real quick. I'm only going to go about another 10 minutes, and then I got to go to bed. I got to get up in the morning and be cold.
Hi, everybody. I'm actually Biden number 4. We've been meaning to tell you, but
where, God, can you just, I don't know. They're not really showing anything about it.
Nothing on YouTube or nothing, huh?
I don't know. Well, yeah, I can look on YouTube real quick. I was just looking to see if there was something maybe. Everything's pictures of Donald Trump. Let me show you this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, well, there's a famous clip of Biden him trying to steal up that little girl. Oh.
Jeez Louise. There's a ton of those.
Oh, my God. Bye, bitch. Oh, let's see. Here's a little bit. What's he saying here? You get some sound on it.
Social media is giving up on fact-checking.
Yeah.
The truth is smothered by lies, told for power and for profit. We must hold the social platforms accountable to protect our children, our families, and our very democracy from the abuse of power. Social media is giving up.
Yeah, didn't Zuckerberg just say that? Hang on, how do I get back? Here we go. Yeah, didn't he just say he was getting rid of his fact check?
They pushed us super hard to take down things that were honestly were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, you know, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects, you basically need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things that
it was
that talk about vaccine side effects?
It was people in the Biden administration. These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse, and it's like these documents it's all kind of out there.
Did you record any of those phone calls?
I don't think we but I think
I want to listen.
I mean, there are emails. the emails are published. It's all kind of out there.
Wow. Yeah, the planets are aligning January 25th. They have not been in this alignment since 1776. That's kind of crazy.
That's
they pushed us super hard.
You know, I mean,
to take down
1776.
But dude, I mean, like, we're supposed to believe like Zuckerberg and these people, not the people that have been lying to us the whole time, like all of a sudden now. So what would have happened if Biden would have won? He would have kept the fact checkers. Like,
yeah. Why all of a sudden the change, right?
Right.
Now he's trying to make it like he was coerced and threatened by the Biden administration.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Convenient.
I don't see that happening. I mean, Christ almighty, this guy was henpecked around by that cackling whore. Kamala.
I don't think these people have like Elon Musk and all that. I don't think they have much control over what goes on in their company anyway, just like the president.
What? He just looked through the window.
They're just a gigantic PR person, basically, or a salesman.
Let me see here. Let's see if I can find something on good old YouTube. I'm going to minus that down just a little bit, too. I have it kind of big. That's what she said. All right, let's see. Farewell address. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, it's still going? Live replay. It's only 19 minutes long. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
heck yeah. That's probably way past his bedtime, too. So.
Yeah. Surprised they can keep him awake that long. See how long this takes to get into it. There it is. Oh, yeah, they always start out, my fellow Americans. Well, we'll watch this and then I'm going to cut her off. No, we're not going to watch it. Fuck him. He ain't worth a shit, I don't think. Let's see if anybody reacted to it. Anybody putting up anything worth a damn about it? Maddow, what Biden said for the first time in his farewell address. You know, who cares? Rachel Maddow. What a strange looking dude, man.
Rachel Mad Cow.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
that's all I can see on here is just the algo's just giving me that. I'm sure there'll be some reactions to it by the time. Let's see if anybody's got it. Oh, yeah. So, okay. I'm just going to, y'all can watch this after it's over. This looks like a good one. I'm going to watch this right before the sack. I'm going to put this on. This is from The Disturbing Illusion. You know Brian Young?
I heard the name. Yeah, I haven't really watched much of his stuff.
He's good. I've been following him for a few years now, quite a few years, and I'm going to put this down here in the chat. You guys got to check this out. He's got one that says, "Unbelievable, Biden went full conspiracy theorist tonight." So I don't know. This might be interesting to watch. We'll cover it on another, maybe tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. Let me. Okay, I put that over, and I'm going to put it in the private chat so you can get it, Chicago. Let me see. Private chat. There we go. Paste. There it is. All right. So y'all can go on and enjoy that. That should be a pretty good one to watch. I'm going to watch that before I toddle off to my little comfy bed and try to get warmed up with all my little dogs. That's going to be nice. I love when it's cold out. Them dogs, I love having them in the bed with me. Oh yeah, they're good. They're good, warm, little buddies, and they want to cuddle right up to you. And you know the worst one is that little rat dog I got. That little Cece. Man, you've probably seen her. She jumps up on my lap sometimes when I'm on here streaming. Little Chihuahua Jack Russell mix. And she gets up here. When I get into bed, she wants to. She can't wait for me to lift up the blanket to let her in because she's gonna come in, and she always comes right up here and like nestles into my side. Like
got her spot, huh?
Oh my God! And it's just like you're not gonna stop her either. She's like a bull getting in there too. It's like as soon as I lift it up, she's already trying to get in.
I need to get me another dog. I hadn't had one in a while, but I just put in a fence this past year, so.
Oh yeah, nice.
Probably get one.
Yeah, there's something else. They all, I got 5, and they all have a distinct, different personality.
Yeah, it's funny how that works with them.
It is. They all have like their own little dispositions about certain things or certain stuff, you know, like that this dog likes it, this one doesn't, you know. most people think, dogs are all just kind of the same. They're not, man. Even within the same breed, you've got, like, I got 3 German Shepherds, and all 3 of them are like totally different personalities, completely. Like Moonshadow, she's a bully. She's a bully, and what it is she just likes to wrestle and fight. So she goes and picks fights, and the other 2 German Shepherds are older and they ain't really wanting to fight. And Brandy, she's like a little princess. She always, all special. And, kind of stuck up, like, get away from me, peasant. And then Fabio, he's just like, get the fuck away. God, I'm old, leave me alone, It's funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't know if you heard Satanic Warrior claim that he is the king of flat earth.
I've heard a couple people saying that, but I don't really pay much attention to that guy. I've never subscribed to his channel or anything.
He got bent at me a few years or a while back. He was over there hanging out on Paul Unslaved, and you want to see a toxic group of fucking.
Oh boy, that guy. That guy.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So, he was pretty hot with the flat earth Z, and I was a lot smaller than I am now, and he was like, oh yeah, Saab is really cool. He knows his shit. He's great. He's, this, that, and the other. Well, then he come on my show fucked up drunk one night. And I let people from any side come on, especially, like, I think I forget who it was. Anyway, he come on and he's all drunk and he starts acting like an asshole, ran them off.
Oh, Paul, you mean?
No, Z.
Oh, Z. Okay.
Yeah. And then he come on this and did it again a little while later. And I was like, holy shit. Well, then I was on Ian's channel, and there was somebody on there talking about how, he comes on and he acts like a dick. And I was like, yeah, he came on my show. He acted kind of like a dick too. Now I wasn't aware he'd done this other places, but why would I be surprised that he hadn't? And, all I was doing was going, yeah. And I didn't mean, oh, I don't like Z or anything else like that. I'm just saying he acted like a dick. In fact, I was waiting for an opportunity to kind of tell him, say, hey, dude, it's really not a good look, man. Anyway, before that, he gets wind that I agreed with this person that he comes on and acted like a dick. And next thing I know, him and Paul are sending trolls over to my chat and trying to fucking do all this other crap and send over a young boy with developmental disability.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like something they do.
And I'm like, what in the fuck are you people
that don't make no sense to me. That's like little kid drama stuff. I don't even understand.
And what I've seen so far with this guy is that he mostly focuses on being as toxic as he possibly can. And I guess there are people that like that. And by all means, if that's your thing, go on over there and get all the toxicity you can possibly get.
I think kind of like watching a soap opera, how people get addicted to those things, and it's like all the drama and everything that builds up. It's like, oh, I got to see what happens next week.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to play it. I don't care about it. And apparently he said something about me. I haven't bothered to even look because I could give a shit.
Right.
But I do recall him saying he was going to bury my channel and he was going to have so many subscribers and all this other. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever, if that's your thing. But I will point out, to this day, I still get more views and I have more subscribers than he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I caught a little bit of Flatzoids thing earlier when I was eating and stuff, and somebody was mentioning on there that, like, now that Witsit and Jaren are kind of, I don't know, losing their momentum or whatever, that he's kind of looking at filling their spot, so to speak, or whatever. But
he's opportunist.
Yeah.
He's just looking for what can boost him.
Yeah.
I believe. And if that's your thing, then by all means, go right ahead.
And that's another thing I don't get. It's like, if you're all about the truth, then why do you have to, like, take people down around you?
Exactly. And the thing is like I was very specific outside of like Duffy and that shit. I mean, because that dude, he came off like a fucking lying piece of shit to begin with. I could see right through him.
Yeah.
But I was very careful to not personally attack, and I still haven't, either one of them guys. You know, I'm just saying, look, there's fraud going on. I can plainly see it, and your reactions gives it all away. So, okay, I don't need to say any more on it as far as they're concerned. I really don't.
It'll all blow over.
I see everything for what it is. So there we go. And just like I said before, that we were in the same boat that we were in before they even embarked on this clown show. The only difference is now there's a bunch of people fighting back and forth about this, that, and the other, and who's a shill and who's not a shill. And I think I could probably go my entire fucking life and never miss hearing that word again. My God, it gets thrown around so badly. It's just like still people relying on their deception, to validate information rather than running it through their own fucking mind, you know, and realizing that that's just some other person saying some shit. How much credibility does it have?
And how much do you think they agree or even think about you once that camera's turned off? It's like, they don't give a shit.
Exactly. So, you know, it's easy to get caught up in that deception. This is why people become depressed and dismayed when someone in the celebrity scene gets exposed for something that they never thought that person would be, or, you know, whatever the case may be, like that you didn't really know that person anyway. Okay. It's just some persona you didn't really even interact with if you're just a viewer. And maybe in this realm here on the YouTube platform have dealt with on a maybe one step closer level, because, you know, you're talking directly to them or whatnot, you know. But as far as that's as far as the familiarity really goes, it's not much different than a pen pal. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know that person. You're only through the things that they write to you.
Yeah. And then half the time you don't even, I mean, you know, your general people that show up, you know, constantly night after night, but then you got a bunch of other people. It's like, you don't even know if you're talking to a real person or not.
Right.
I mean, not for, you know, there's a lot of people that are real people, but I'm just saying that, you know, sometimes these people just come out of nowhere into your channel, whatever, and start arguments. It's like, how the hell you even know that you're not talking to a bot or something?
No. Well, yeah. Renee Bernays says she's got she said she made a video about that. So you want to click that link and go over and check it out. I'm going to close her on down. You got anything for the people before we go tonight?
No, not much. Just I hope everybody has a good rest of their week, and I'll see you the next time, I guess.
Right on, man. We'll see you next time.
Good hanging with you, man.
All right on. Thanks for coming up tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, folks. Like we always like to say, don't forget, the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him, because he'll probably kill you. And if you heard the shot, it wasn't meant for you. Good night, everybody.
Hey, how are you glow-tards doing? Just wanted to check in from how you were doing when you all learned about me, when you were just little wee little ones, and you were too stupid to question anything, and, you know, just wanted to check in and make sure you still believed in me. You still believe in me, right? You better still believe in me, because if you don't, I'm gonna call you names like, you still live in your mama's basement, and you better not breed. That's okay. I know you still believe in me.